Today I'm going to be showing you how to make snowflakes and stars from paper straws. This was an idea I had after going on a straw working corn dolly workshop. Corn dollies are actually a critically endangered craft type in Britain. And I was delighted to get the opportunity to learn how to make them. I wondered how to share about them with you in a way where you could join in, but the difficulty is there is apparently only one farm in the UK that grows the necessary wheat, barley or oats to make corn dollies. And part of the issue is it's whether the stem is long and hollow. To help with modern farming practices and the use of combine harvesters, and to ensure that wheat doesn't blow over in the wind and in storms, to help farmers, new breeds have been developed since the advent of combine harvesters, and to help with the use of combine harvesters that have a shorter stem and it's pithy, not hollow. But to actually make the corn, or wheat, or the barley, or the oats malleable to make corn dollies, you need a hollow stem, and to also make something meaningful, you need a longer stem. But I came to the conclusion that an alternative was to use paper straws to make things. So I had a go at making these snowflakes as Christmas decorations. Just a bit of fun. You could make a whole garland of them. The advantage as well is that you don't have to buy lots of wheat from a specialist farm. You can just have a go, and if you want to explore making corn dollies later you can, but you have a go to see a little bit about what it's about. So to start with, this is quite a good project because you just need some straws, 6 straws I'm using, paper straws. I've got these lovely ones that are printed with stars, but you could use something more common of garden. You could use, these are just from a supermarket that I've used. These ones I got from Amazon. So you could use whatever paper straws you've got in, and you could even spray your creations gold afterwards if you like. You could make them into things to hang on a Christmas tree, because I've incorporated a hanger, or you could make them into a garland to hang on your staircase or over your mantelpiece or wherever. So the main thing you need to make these, we need to know how to do to make these, is a clove hitch knot. I've got a purple tablecloth down and yellow macramé thread, which is one of the other things you need, to be able to show you easily how to make the clove hitch knot. The other thing is, your thread, you can't just use sewing thread because it will break. I've tried it with sewing thread. So you need something that's fairly strong. So macramé or jewellery making thread is quite a good option. So let me show you the clove hitch knot. To start with, you place your straws over the thread. You pull the thread over the straws and then under, over again. Hold that kind of in place there. Put your thread over the little line coming down the back, under your straws, so it's like that. Then I'm going to cut off a good amount of thread because I'm going to use this length for more than one knot. Then you thread the long end through your second loop around the straws, like that. If you're doing this with straw, I found this is enough to hold it, but with paper straws they've got a bit more bounce back. So you make sure all the straws are even at each end, and you measure where you want your knot. These straws are 8 inches long, so I want it at 4 inches right in the middle. That's about right. And then you have to pull very tight, and you see they splay out a bit. You turn it over, get it as tight as you can. I'd say you only want to make about one of these a day, so it might be that you have a run up to Christmas through Advent making one a day, or through November making one a day for your Christmas decorations on 1st of December. So we're just going to tie something like a reef knot on the back, like that, in 2 parts, and then that's firm. Then we're going to cut off the ends, and I'll save my ends for another project, and then we're going to do another set of knots. So we're going to take 2 straws at a time, and we're going to do 6 other knots. So 2 straws at a time, and tie them into 6 like that. So I'll show you the reef knot again. We're going to do this less than halfway down, about there. Once you've done the first one, you can measure the next one like that to get it in the same place. Don't worry if your straws are slightly uneven at the end. That, I found, is kind of inevitable. I'm going to turn it over and start on the right side, which doesn't have my knot cuttings on it. I'm going to do exactly the same. I'm going to have a fairly short end. I'm going to wind it round twice, like that. Catch it, take it over the front of this short end, round the back, pull that loop, get that through, like there. Like that. I'm going to pull it as tight as I can. I think it's in about the right position. I might give them a bit of a bend to help the tightness along. If your short end isn't long enough, you might find it really difficult to tighten them. And then I'm going to make my reef knot once, twice. So I'm going to leave you now and come back to you when I've done the other 5. Now I've knotted my first knot, number 1, and then another 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So a total of 7, another 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, to give you this configuration. So if we look at one I've done before, we've done all those knots, that knot and all these knots here. And what we're now going to do is these knots. So what I'm going to do that is I'm going to push my two ends together so that they are about even, and then I'm going to do another clove hitch knot. So the string goes under, over, over. Now the tempting thing to do is then pull it under here. That won't work. It's got to go over there, behind the straws, without catching on any others, like that, and then it's got to be thread through that one, the outer one. Like that. Then I'm going to tighten it a bit, and I'm going to work out where I want it. So I want just a little bit sticking out, like that. So there will do fine. And I'm pulling it as tight as I can, and I'm going to do my wreath knot, variation of the wreath knot. And cut it off. Now I'll leave you while I do the others until the last one, because I want to show you a little trick on the last one. To bend out my straws to make it more like a snowflake. Back soon. So now we've got this far. I've tied the extra 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 knots and pulled out the ends like that to get a bit of snowflake-ness, and then I've just got one more knot to tie. So for this one, rather than doing one short end, I'm going to do the ends about the same length, because when I make this knot I want to make the hanger. So I'm just going to make exactly the same clove hitch knot, except for this end is longer to make my hanger. So the line is behind the straws, goes over twice, and in front of the line that isn't moving. So this is the moving line, it's going in front, then behind everything, so it's catching up that loop there. Then I need to push it through that end bit there, that end, the second loop that I make, and hold it all in place. So I've got two quite long ends. I want to manoeuvre it so I've got it in about the same place as the other knots, and tighten it. Fan these out a bit, turn it over, do my reef knot, which don't tell me it isn't a reef knot, but it's the kind of same kind of knot. Works, done it twice, and then just going to open that a bit with a pair of scissors, and then I'm just going to tie the end round my finger over, through, and pull it tight to make my hanger. And the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the end of the tubes so they look like this one, a bit pointed. Turn it over and do the other sides. So turning the star in the right direction to make the points easy to cut, rather than trying to turn my hand with the scissors. And there we have it, my latest star, which I think looks quite good, along with the others. And you'll see that all my knots, I've made them go behind, so the bit I've tightened as a knot is consistently on the back. So I hope you like those and have enjoyed this session. I hope you have a lovely time preparing for your Christmas. Bye for now.